Hello and a very warm welcome. F1 returns with an absolute bang. Alexander Albon, driver of the day. Lando Norris on the podium in the McLaren. Phenomenal to see. They're just pulling up on the grid now. It was a stale Grand Prix. Then the safety cars kept coming out and it made it an absolute corker in the end. Oh wow. Valtteri Bottas wins. Mercedes had issues riding the curbs. Engine problems, they were on the radio so much. What a disaster for Lewis Hamilton, wow. But crazy Grand Prix. Before the race, Hamilton had a penalty, a 3-place grid penalty, and has to start 5th, not slowing down under yellows. Most drivers take the knee before the race. Racism shirts on, and they took the knee before the race. Clean start, very surprised. I expected a demolition derby. And it was a very clean start. Lots of retirements in this race. Here's Lando Norris, his first podium. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Not really social distancing there though, Lando, hugging his team. But, I mean, you can't blame him. His first podium in Formula 1. Wow. Max loses power, retires. Very sad for the race. A whole bunch of retirements in the Austrian Grand Prix. Ricciardo retires. Stroll out, very slow. Grosjean spin. Magnussen spin. Brake problems for Haas. Sainz and Vettel touch and another Vettel mistake. How many mistakes is Sebastian Vettel going to make? Ferrari, this is the reason they've got rid of him. Because he's so mistake prone. And Carlos Sainz was battling with Leclerc. Vettel goes for a gap that's always going to close. And what happens? Vettel spins round again. I kind of feel sorry for him now because he's just turning into a meme. He's just turning into a meme. Lord Vettel spinning all the time. Mercedes told to stay off the curbs. It's critical. We're robbed of a race really because Mercedes couldn't race because they had to stay off the curbs. It was a critical issue. Grosjean spins off. Again, brake problems for Haas. George Russell pulls off. Kimi's wheel comes off, brings out the safety car, and then right at the end, the last 20 laps were insane. Albon, he's guaranteed a podium. Guaranteed a podium, Alexander Albon. He's on the soft tyre. He goes for the move on Lewis Hamilton, and they crash again. It was Brazil 2019 all over again, and Hamilton got a penalty for it. Didn't leave Albon much room, to be honest. Hamilton gets a penalty, 5 seconds added to his time. He finished second on the road, but goes down to 4th. Perez gets a penalty also, speeding in the pit lane. What a race. Fastest lap, Lando Norris. Had to get that fastest lap to get on the podium, and he did it. Incredible performance by Lando Norris. Driver of the day. I mean, what? He's literally won every accolade. Qualifying star. Driver of the day, in my opinion. Fastest lap. I've got to give the race 8 out of 10. It was stale. Then all the safety cars came out. It made it an exciting end to the race. So many DNFs. Daniel Kvyat, Albon, Kimi, Grosjean, Russell, Max, Ricciardo, Stroll, Magnussen. Valtteri Bottas wins the Austrian Grand Prix. F1 is back with a bang. He dominated the race. Pole position, race win, perfect start for Valtteri Bottas. Charles Leclerc P2. Who would have thought that after qualifying when Ferrari basically got their pants pulled down? I mean, what a performance by Charles Leclerc. Lando Norris P3. His first ever podium in Formula 1. McLaren on the podium again. They had a podium in Brazil. They're on the podium in the first race. Lando Norris. Absolutely sensational performance by the Briton. Wow. I absolutely love to see McLaren on the podium. Where they should be. A huge team like McLaren. Lewis Hamilton. A tough weekend. Just gets worse. Oh my god. I'm a Hamilton fan. I can't believe it. He qualifies second. He gets a penalty that was justified for speeding under yellows. And then he gets a penalty for hitting Albon. Not a good start for Lewis Hamilton. Carlos Sainz gets P5. That's a good recovery after a tough qualifying compared to his teammate. good points for McLaren. I wouldn't be shocked if McLaren were actually second in the Constructors. I mean, I could add it up. Norris has 15, fastest lap 16, Carlos Sainz has 10. So that's 26 points for McLaren. Wow. But no, because Bottas won the race. So Mercedes will obviously be one, but McLaren will have a lot of points. Sergio Perez, P6, Racing Point. They were on for the podium and it all goes wrong. Perez gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I expected Racing Point to be on the podium. McLaren and Ferrari are enjoying it instead. Pierre Gasly, P7, fantastic job. Esteban Ocon returns to the sport and gets points on his return. Giovinazzi scored his first points in 2019 round here. He gets points, finishes P9. Sebastian Vettel, P10. Never finished 10th in his career. He finishes there today. Unbelievable. A huge mistake once again by Vettel. I mean, wow. And Nicholas Latifi on his debut finishes 11th, just outside the points. It's a great effort by Latifi. He kept the car in one piece and brought it home. Lando Norris getting interviewed. He's probably got a smile wider than Ricciardo's, but obviously we can't see because of the face mask. What an Austrian Grand Prix. F1 is back. It's back with a bang. Valtteri Bottas, Charles Leclerc and Norris is your podium. Wow. The race was actually stale and all the safety cars just made the race. It just became a world-class race. I can't give it any higher than an 8 though, because at the start it was stale, then we got action. I mean, Lando Norris, what a performance. He had to get that fastest lap in to beat Lewis Hamilton, otherwise Hamilton would have been third. A crazy Austrian Grand Prix. We go again in a week's time at the same track, and hopefully we get a race like that. Phenomenal. I love to see Norris on the podium, McLaren on the podium. That's where they should be. I mean, the podium, it should have been Bottas. It should have been Albon. Albon got took out again when he had a guaranteed podium. Bad mistake by Hamilton. Didn't leave him enough room. And Racing Point should have been on the podium. Pretty disappointed with Racing Point. But there we have it. That is race reaction done. Oh, I love to see the passion of McLaren. That brings a smile to my face. Join me for driver ratings. Probably will come out tomorrow or maybe a bit later today. What a race. Valtteri Bottas wins the Austrian Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc is second. And congratulations Lando Norris on a sensational performance. Brilliant. He's almost in tears. Wow. F1 is back. Back with a bang. Oh, Albon looks very angry. Not surprised as well.